listening to Opie and Anthony. On the virus, Sirius-XM.
We got Ron Pearlman in the studio.
Hey, how you doing? How are you? Nice to meet you. Thank you. Same
Ron
here.
Pearlman, huge fan of Louis C.K.
We're on the same network, this guy.
Yeah.
FX.
I know. Unbelievable with the Sons of Anarchy.
That show is so good.
I don't fucking know.
We're in the same place.
Sons
They're
of
very
Anarchy.
liberal-minded, those
Fucking great
guys.
show,
Yes.
man.
And stupid.
That's crazy.
What's up, Ron?
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, man. Been
Welcome to
watching
the
Ron
show.
for years.
Good to see
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. One of my favorites. I got to just bring it up real quick. Alien. What was it? Resurrection.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
good.
No, that was one of the franchises I managed to close down. I went through a spate of that. I closed down a lot of venerable old institutions. Star Trek, they never made another one of those.
That was done. They had to reboot the whole.
What I'm
Start over
proudest
'cause of
about,
you?
and this is probably more public service than anything else, was I closed down the Police Academy franchise.
Oh, thank you for doing
Wow,
that.
you
You're on the
really
last
did
one of
that,
those?
Yeah.
You should get a trophy
Wow.
for that.
Definitely the last one of those. And I take personal credit for it, too.
But look at what you're doing with like Hellboy. People love Hellboy.
I closed that one, too.
I liked it. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
You're in the island of Dr. Moreau. How nuts was Brando to be around?
Brando was actually he was like the Rock compared to some of the shit that was on that set.
That's one of the weirdest movies I ever saw.
That was like, After Heaven's Gate, the biggest clusterfuck in movie history.
Really?
Yeah.
Did him and Val Kilmer not like each other? There was something between him and Val Kilmer?
I really can't comment. One of them is still alive.
Yeah, that movie was crazy.
Yeah.
That movie just started feling like you were just hanging around that island after a while.
You actually
just
felt
kept-
like you were
You
there?
should have
Yeah.
been there. It was. I mean, they actually hired me. I was really in essentially one scene and then a couple of little pops, And I was my deal was for 3 weeks. I ended up being there for 4.5 months.
Oh my God.
And at one point I just turned to the director and said, "What the fuck is going on?" And he goes, "Well," and it was the great John Frankenheimer, one of his last assignments. The great late John Frankenheimer, but he was like an old school dude, just completely like not part of the 21st century at all, and. Although this was the early '90s, so he was entitled, I guess. He says, "Well, Marlon says, give it to the guy from Quest for Fire." I said, "Give what to the guy?" He says, "Every one of Val's lines. Just give it to him.
The guy from Quest.
That guy can act." So I said, "So I'm, I may be here for the rest of my born days, right?" He goes, Possibly, Ron."
Oh my God.
You're in Season of the Witch.
That's true.
Is the new movie that's coming out? Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Nicolas Cage. What a movie machine he is. Jesus Christ.
He makes a lot of films.
He does make a lot of goddamn
Guy's got to be
films.
pulling in $300-400 grand a year.
Perhaps what an action.
He seems.
You think that much? He's I think he's working on 3 right now.
Jesus.
Simultaneously.
Fuck.
He's going to start doing them live after a while.
No, that's me. I'll come to your house if you can't go to the theater. I'll do the whole fucker. I play all the parts.
When is that opening up?
It opens Friday.
Friday?
Friday the 7th, yeah.
And who are you? Who are you in that?
I'm his buddy.
Oh, really? Is this a stretch?
It's a buddy film. It's a lot of things. It's but essentially, and what was most attractive to me was that he and I are these two warrior knights in the Crusades, and we've been fighting kind of shoulder to shoulder for like 12.5 years, and so. It's on that level. It's a buddy movie, and then it's kind of like Bing Crosby and Bob Hope road picture.
On the road.
We are all things to all people. And then there's a little witchcraft, a little this, a little that, a little song and dance.
When you got into acting, did you think because you have become kind of this action action star guy.
Yes, at 60, I turned.
Or
into-
at 60.
Just when I can't do anything about it, they actually want me to run up hills.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've noticed over the years, like at first, early on, you weren't really cast in the action roles, and now, a little later in your career, I guess.
Well, everyone else has died off. Is what's happened.
That's what it is. So
And if
they're
you hang out
giving
long
you the
enough,
parts?
yeah. If you hang out long enough, you're the only one that's left on that list.
And you were like one of the most well-known, unrecognized people on Beauty and the Beast years ago.
Yeah.
When you were on that TV series. How was that? That must have been. Was it frustrating for you?
No, actually, just the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, I you see guys like Nick Cage really have to give thought to their every movement. They just, and I'm at the, the Gelsons in L.A. at, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and no one cares.
No.
I mean, I can go anywhere. I can to this day, and do anything. I have never had to make an alteration to my, sordid lifestyle.
You're pretty recognizable, though. Jesus.
Well, yeah. I think the FX show, which is the same
Sons of
that
Anarchy,
Louis on, has magnified the profile. But I mean, I was able to basically move through life, unfettered, because just nobody gave a shit.
Fucking honesty. I love it.
Holy shit.
Hey, we
It's
got
a little too early in the morning to lie.
You know what? More of that. Let's say hi to Bill in Boston. Bill.
Hey, Ron, I just want to let you know that I love your work on Sons of Anarchy, and I really like the Mutant Chronicles. I really enjoyed that movie. Thanks for all your work.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.
All right. You have a question, or you just want to kiss his ass? I guess that's it.
No question.
All right, no
Have
question.
a nice day, Bill.
He just loves Sons of Anarchy and everything.
And the Mutant Chronicles.
And of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Who will ever forget?
What do you? I guess a lot of people. Wait a minute.
Bill didn't forget. God bless you.
What do you like watching? What kind of shows you enjoy?
I'm a kind of a. I've turned into a political junkie a little bit. But
Really?
But I get all my news through MSNBC because I'm like, I'm a lifelong, lower middle class Jew lefty from Upper Manhattan. So I like having my news filtered through, a blue lens.
Through the liberal.
So I'm a
side,
I'm a Chris Matthews freak. Watch that show, TiVo that show every day, and when I'm on my own time, it's just Turner Classic Movies, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's my antidote to a cold, hard, really cruel world.
Really?
Is to go back and watch old black and white movies and go,
What a sinful time.
Humphrey, Carrie, Bert. That's it, man. I mean, it's just another time and place.
A simpler time. Yes.
It seems like it was. It seems like it was. There was a little order of the universe back then.
Little English people with high collars arguing very politely.
Yeah, with their little pinky
Yeah.
out.
I was watching one of those movies, and there was these English guy in trial for murder, and the lawyer's supposed to be a brilliant, arguer or whatever, debater. You're better than me.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I put it to you that you murdered her," and the guy says, "I put it to you that I didn't." I put it to you that you did, and everyone's like, "Ooh."
A lot of people are putting it to a lot of other motherfuckers.
Got some people booing that you said MSNBC there, Ron.
Oh, really?
Ah, fuck them.
Well,
They're booing.
politics will absolutely divide everybody
God,
and get them.
Yeah, but it's like a
going for the
sports team
throat.
now.
Right.
Yeah,
Fox
it really is.
News
That's all it
versus
is.
MSNBC.
That's all it is. You're right.
Fuck the Red Sox, boss.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yankees, Red Sox.
You should start buying your MSNBC jersey now.
Yeah, because ask that guy, why don't you like it? Well, because just liberal. What is it about liberals you don't like? Just because just bashing Bush. No, he's not even president anymore. Yeah, but liberal. It's just the same, and it's the same on the other side. Why don't you like Fox News? Just because, just conservative.
Just
like
all of a
so
sudden,
conservative.
it's just like, yeah, you just went gay when he talked about
No, it's California. It's not gay.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
not- I'm
California
going with the California. It's just conservative.
I slip into that all the time myself.
No, I do too.
Are you involved politically at all in any?
Just in my
anything,
living
or-
room.
Just in your living room, your armchair
I yell
kind
and
of.
scream. I'm very politically involved in my car.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you could yell and scream. Do you check in on what the other side's talking about and doing? Get yourself
Absolutely
annoyed.
not. Absolutely not.
No? Really?
No, I just don't. I don't give a fuck. It's all poppycock to me.
Is it? What do you think? Does it affect you in any way? Do you really think it affects you in any way personally? Who's in charge? Like now, today, as a matter of fact, the Republican House is going to be sworn in. Do you think that is going to affect you any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, they're not swearing in anybody else because just the Republican House.
Just the Republican House.
Do I think? I actually do. I really do. I really do think that that government plays a role in people's everyday lives. You look at things that are historic landmarks, sweeping legislative victories. Like the Civil Rights Act and Medicare and Medicaid and all that stuff. And even the abolishment of slavery, which were things that really affected the whole sort of not just spiritual,
affected the South,
but
a little bit.
and it always came with these horrific, bloody fights, and there are still people today that are railing against FDR, for fucking socialist cocksucker.
welfare state.
Hey, that's just sorry to interrupt you, but slavery emancipation, was that a piece of legislation or was it an executive order? How did he? It never occurred to me. How did he do it?
It ended up to be an amendment to the Constitution.
It was an amendment to the Constitution
because the original Constitution allowed for slavery, and in order to. The Civil War was the execution of, the unearthing of the illegality to secede from the Union, number one, and number two, then, they needed to add an amendment to correct
So how do you when you put an amendment, Congress has to do that, right? Or
Congress has to do
they
that.
have to vote. It has to be a huge lopsided vote or something.
Some guy just sneaks in the middle of the night and writes it and goes, "No, that was here."
Here.
You didn't see this?
In fact, John Boehner was in office back then.
Good old Boehner.
Well, politics are very polarizing. How many times have I said that, Lou? Hundreds.
It really is, though. But I know some actors really get on board. Like Sean Penn is going down there and meeting with Chavez, and he's always going over the Middle East and.
He's consistent. I don't agree with him, but I'll say this: he's a very consistent guy.
He is consistent,
and he's a fucking amazing actor. So it's like I love his work. He's a guy who I find annoying, but I love him so much. His work is so good. It's like you can't not like the guy.
Yeah, because some actors that are into politics, it seems like they're just trying to find more lists that they can get on.
Yeah.
It's not really about the cause. It's like like when I hear that the White House briefed Barbara Streisand, I'm like, don't fucking waste all these people's time.
You're doing that. That's why I like.
She just wants to know that she can jet into D.C.
That's why I like Ron just does it from his living room.
Right. I think that there are people who spend their lives, professionally doing that, and I have a different life choice professionally, and it's not. I also think that it's not necessarily helpful when entertainers get involved in things that they shouldn't. You see some of these like guys that appear before Congress to testify about their pet peeve. And that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't think that helps.
Yeah, I don't think it's helpful. I think the
No.
best thing I can do for somebody I support is stay as far the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Because what happens if they don't like a movie I did?
Yeah.
that guy's going to lose votes.
It's an awful way for a cause to get shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Police Academy 8 stunk so bad.
Yeah, fuck the unborn. That movie stunk.
That's right. So I just quietly.
Well, I mean, there's a reason I have a lead by example bumper sticker on. I mean, that's the way I feel.
Jimmy's disgusting me today. Are you getting a lot of bikers getting in touch with you and stuff? Are there some frightening people that you've met because of Sons of Anarchy?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're frightening, but they're showing us a huge amount of love.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Are there
Which
any
is
that
like-
don't like you? Or are there any that feel like that's not the way we are, man?
No one has emerged so far that doesn't like. I'm sure there are people sticking, pins in dolls, Ron Perlman dolls, Hellboy dolls, But no, I've actually, we only work 5 months a year, which is the beauty of working on FX. You only do 13 episodes, so you have a lot of time to do other stuff. And between the second and third season, I was like all over the United States doing various other projects. And every time it became known that I showed up in like Albuquerque or Illinois, something like that, I would get a message, that the guys want to sit down, and have a little sit down.
Oh, shit.
And I go, yeah, let me give you a call.
Yeah.
So I've yet to take advantage of it, but
Book a flight out of there.
That's when you realize how insignificant what the New York Times has to say about your work is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But when the bikers actually endorse you and say, we're not that thrilled that there's, because they're outlaws essentially at the end of the day, and they'd rather stay off the grid and off the radar. But they have shown us a huge amount of support for how nuanced the show is, how ungratuitous the show tries to stay, and how
That you don't stereotype it and just paint a typical picture.
that we're because pretty much every time you've seen anything with bikers, except for like Easy Rider, which was like not really a biker thing. It was just two guys on bikes, but it's usually pretty superficial. It's usually just like they use the world for ends that don't really service the world or that stereotype the world.
Right into a town where
Do you remember Joe Namath made a biker movie?
Oh, damn.
CC Rider.
CC Rider.
He made the biker movie.
And they show him walking through a supermarket and like grabbing a milk carton and drinking it and then throwing it on the floor and just
crazy.
like pushing people around a little bit.
He was crazy in that.
Crazy biker guy.
Rebellious. God.
Joe Namath. This show is so good though. Have you watched it?
Sons of Anarchy rules.
It's so good. And I don't keep up with anything regularly. I can't keep. I just don't have time, and I've got kids and stuff. But
Very busy man.
every time it comes on, every time I see it, I think I can't, because a lot of dramas are too intense and too involved. And you'll see guys talking, and the scene's like this low talking. Cyrus wants to meet on Tuesday, but do we have the chips to leverage him? And I'm like, who the fuck are you people talking about? But when I watch that show, I watch for 2 more minutes, and then I'm like, wow, they got to get Cyrus to meet. That's really, what's going to happen to him?
I hope Cyrus doesn't decide to be a no-show.
Yeah.
Do you ride? Do you?
I don't ride well. I'm not that guy. It's funny because there's the whole rest of the cast that just loves the bikes, and then there's me. That's just
not big
an
on
actor
the
playing a part.
Yeah.
But you have to ride.
You have
in
to
certain
ride.
scenes.
You
Yeah,
have to ride.
Are you like, let me go straight, and then could you get someone in here to make the turn for me?
Well, they hired me to do this part while I was doing a movie in Romania. So I literally for the pilot, and which segued right into the first season of filming. I got off a plane on Sunday night and on a Harley Monday morning. Had never been on a bike before in my life.
And those are heavy bikes to start on.
Yeah, my bike is just shy of 1,000 pounds. So
Did you regret
You didn't
riding
get to
motorcycles under special skills on your resume?
yeah, I did. That and horseback riding. I pretty much lied about whatever you can think of.
Juggling, French.
The only thing I really never lied about was the knitting.
It's hard to fit that into the show.
I've never done a movie about knitting. All these years. I just took so much time out of my youth to learn how to purl and whatever. Anyway, So the first season, you'd see me pulling out in a really dramatic fashion, and then you'd see me pulling in. And the rest of it was, back of some stunt guy's head.
Stunt guy.
Then in the hiatus for the second season, I actually spent some time on a bike. Tried to find a little bit of a comfort zone, which I'm still terrified of.
Yeah, I'm
that particular
fan of the bike.
It's scary.
I'm terrified.
I like a little metal around me when I'm driving on the road.
This machine pulling you by the arms.
I mean, I don't even like going
nasty.
Pulling you by the arms.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I used to have one, and I rode a motorcycle for like 2 years in New York City. And I was never totally unscared. I was always a little. I wanted really badly to get in an accident that wouldn't hurt me. Like that was my fantasy, and it's exactly what happened to me. I cracked the bike up really badly, and I was fine.
You can't.
So I could say, "Oh, I don't."
I'm done.
You just can't be on alert that long.
No.
Every day.
Can't scratch your nose.
You can't have like this.
No.
Sometimes when you're driving your car, you could just kind of drift off a little as long as your peripherals are working. On a bike, it's just like constant fucking on a state of alert.
Like I was in a helicopter once doing a show in Western Pennsylvania, and the guy, he's just holding up the joystick with both hands, and he says, I'm just chatting with him about how it works, and he goes, well, if I have a muscle twitch and let go, we just drop out of the sky.
Oh, great.
We would just fall.
Thanks for letting me know that.
Oh, you should have said to him, hey, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said. That would have been a lighthearted way to show my fear.
Many years ago, I was going to do a film about like these Long Island bikers, and so I needed to learn how to ride. And I was still living here in New York at the time, so I took this safety course, which you're required to take first to learn how to ride the bike, but then you got to spend all this classroom time because you got to take the written test because you got to get the license, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we walk into the classroom experience, and the first thing the instructor says is, "Who here can say what the percentage of people who ride a bike get into a crash?" So one guy says 20%. He says a little higher, and this goes on and on and on. Finally, he says, "Nobody." 100%.
Really?
And he wasn't jiving, man. I mean, if you ride a bike, you are going to crash.
At some point in your bike
you are
riding
going to crash.
career, you'll crash.
And you could be phenomenal at it, but other drivers are not looking for bikes. People are like changing lanes like crazy.
The classic is the left turn in front of people. People will just... I drive a fucking Escalade, and people turn left in front of me. Like, what are you doing?
They can't see you.
This thing is barreling
No, and on a
down
motorcycle, you're only on two wheels. So if you have a slight hitch in the flow of your driving, you fall down.
Yeah.
And in a car, if you have like, oh, whoops, then you just sort of...
back.
But there's nothing more challenging than riding a Harley and trying to send a text message back to your manager.
Have you tried doing
I'm
that
running
one?
late,
I had a moped accident when I was 15. I did.
Wow, really fitting in, Jim.
I don't want anybody to be alarmed, but I mean, I had one when I was 15, and I flipped off the top, and I said, I'll never get on a motorcycle. It just scared me.
You never were on a motorcycle.
I was on a moped. That's what I'm saying. I would never do it after that. It scares me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Sometimes I still wake up screaming.
Was the motor running, or were you in pedal mode?
Literal fucking asshole I am. I almost answered you. No, the motor was running. All kidding aside. I shouldn't joke about this. I really am a jizz bag.
A motorized vehicle that you can also pedal.
We got Ron Pearlman in studio. We got to let him go in a few minutes, but John in Jersey has a great question. John.
Hey, Ron, just want to say love the Sons of Anarchy and all your work in some of the other movies. My question is, honestly, how big are Katie Seagal's cans? Are they really as big as they look?
It's a great question.
I never looked.
never even
I never looked. It's just about the eyes.
Of course.
It's all about, eye to eye.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, what do you think, John?
Extremely large. I'm just wondering if I could get a size or something like that.
He needs it for his spec bubble.
Probably best for you to go to katiesegal.com. And I think there's a little column on the left which says measurements. You have to log in. I don't know. I really don't know.
Hey, Ron, have you ever
I'm
done
trying to save my job here.
It's a funny thing. It's such a dumb thing to ask.
It really
about
is.
something that you know. that girl looks like she's got big tits. I got a question. Does she have big tits? Does she? I know. I mean, I see her and her tits are really big. So are they big? I just want to know if her tits are big.
We don't. I will say this, John. There's no CGI on the show.
No.
It's all.
So deal with that.
Digital video.
We got to get Ron out of here because he's doing TV. Where are you going next, Ron?
He's all over the place.
WPIX.
Oh, look at you.
The original home of the New York Yankees.
That's right.
Yes. When the Scooter used to do the games before leading in the third inning.
Holy cow.
You New Yorkers.
Yeah, I talk Scooter. Whoever doesn't listen.
Scooter would leave, though.
Say hi to Jill Nicolini over there for me.
Thank you. I sure will. Yes. But, I mean, I go back to when Red Barber was doing Yankee.
I don't remember Red Barber.
Red Barber here.
Yeah.
It was Frank Messer, Bill White, and the Scooter.
Yeah, no, well, that's like
70s.
For me, like third generation. It was originally the Scooter was just segueing into being an announcer. He had just stopped being the shortstop.
Oh,
when I started watching the games.
Wow.
Pre-money store.
Yeah, in fact, they hadn't invented cleats yet when I started watching Yankee games. That's not true.
No,
but anyway,
isn't that distressing that we all went really?
Yeah,
really.
but it was Mel Allen, they'll never be the better voice of the Yankees.
Mel Allen.
This Week in Baseball is where I know him from. I didn't know him as a Yankee announcer.
Yeah, he was the Yankee announcer through my entire because I started watching games during the real heyday of the franchise, which was in the 50s, which is the entire career of Mantle. Most of Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford.
How fucking old are you? You're not that old.
You're in really good shape.
Yeah.
For what you remember.
Yeah.
Those memories usually fit inside of a really disgusting bag of shit.
I know. Huh?
Yeah. What a bunch of queers we are. Really? You saw Scooter play? You have a great body for that.
No, I mean, my dad walked me into a Yankee game, my first game in like 1952. So I don't mean.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's why you got your action films later in life because now that you've gone gray and your whiskers look hard beaten, it's more interesting to see you chomping a cigar and fucking with somebody, like looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you want to see a guy that looks like this. It's got the copper in his blood has started showing in his hair a little bit.
Like
it's more interesting.
He's got the look where he has the experience of fucking people up for a lot of years.
Exactly. That's somebody you want to watch a guy punch in the face.
That's a compliment, right?
I don't want to watch fucking, whenever Leonardo DiCaprio balls up his little fucking boy fists and punches somebody, you see the guy who reel back oh, and you're like, nah, he didn't hit you that hard.
Yeah.
But Ron Perlman fucks, he's one of those guys who you could actually believe that he could just turn your head and kill you, that thing.
That
snap. Yeah.
I want to see a fist that's been holding cock since the 50s punch somebody.
That actually didn't start till 61. All right. But
after Mantle had already
once Mantle was gone, it was just me and my cock.
Oh fuck, we got to get Ron out of here, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wow.
Season
Ron.
of the Witch. It's in theaters this Friday.
With Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And FX, Sons of Anarchy.
Great show.
It's a great show, absolutely. And of course, all our other wonderful Ron Perlman gems that we love so much.
Thank
he
you so
says, he ruined the franchise, but I love that goddamn Alien Resurrection.
Yep.
And I think, at that point, the franchise was done anyway. I don't think you had anything to do with it. You played a badass in that. I like that.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. It's been
Thanks,
a pleasure
Ron.
being here, guys.
All right, Ron Perlman, everyone.
All right.
The Virus. Sirius-XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.